SCP-6096 is the guest. A very, very creepy looking thumbnail from the Vulcan today. We're gonna get into it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like reaction videos. Subscribe to the Vulcan if you like good SCP content. Let's get into this one, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Dr.
My name
Miller.
is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today
We're in the 6000s
is
already, guys.
SCP-6096. Containment class, Keter.
Okay.
Disruption class, Vlam. And risk class,
Vlam.
Warning.
I'm not familiar with the new classes
Special
yet. I need to look
containment
them up.
procedures. Containment of SCP-6096 is to be handled directly by Mobile Task Force Zeta-29. Blood
Okay.
Brothers.
It's an MTF.
SCP-6096 is to be detained in a standard humanoid containment chamber located at Site 19. On-site
Alright.
personnel are to constantly monitor SCP-6096's chamber via video and audio recording devices. Any changes in behavior are to be immediately logged.
Okay.
SCP-6096 is to be released from containment whenever it desires.
Wow.
During an off-site excursion, SCP-6096 is to be escorted directly to its destination by Mobile Task Force Zeta-29 using whatever mode of transportation is most convenient.
Okay.
A secondary team are to move ahead of this main escort group and preemptively dose the target with a high-grade tranquilizer so as to ensure unconsciousness.
Wow.
Once SCP-6096 has successfully terminated the civilian in question, it is to be invited back into containment.
What the hell?
Description.
Yeah, tell us about it.
SCP-6096 is an entity presumably humanoid in shape, the body of which is perpetually concealed underneath a large cotton sheet.
Right.
Due to the presence of this sheet, a full physical description of SCP-6096 is not possible. Superficial analysis of the entity, however, indicates that SCP-6096 is 1.55 meters tall and weighs approximately 48 kilograms.
All right.
The sheet covering SCP-6096 is larger than the actual body, and typically trails at least a meter behind it when it is mobile. Personnel have been unable to attempt to remove this sheet in order to obtain a more accurate description.
All right.
No living being can consciously take an action which would result in harm coming to SCP-6096. An action which would result in harm coming to SCP-6096 is a broad category and has been observed to consist of acts including attempting to attack SCP-6096, attempting to order others to attack SCP-6096,
All right.
attempting to trick others into unknowingly attacking SCP-6096, attempting to lay a trap
So
for
apparently they tested all of this
SCP-6096,
stuff?
attempting to order others to lay a trap for SCP-6096, attempting to trick others into unknowingly laying a trap for SCP-6096, attempting to create a device which would independently and
like
automatically
video
cause
game
harm
exploits.
to SCP-6096, attempting to leave SCP-6096's presence when doing so would expose the entity to harm, attempting to self-terminate if said self-termination would result in negative repercussions for SCP-6096, and attempting to remove SCP-6096's bedsheet. SCP-6096 is usually docile, allowing itself to be led into containment so long as said relocation would not result in harm coming to it. At periodic intervals, however, SCP-6096 will become active and independently mobile, persistently moving at walking speeds towards a target.
Okay.
In all observed cases, this target has been a human being selected at random from the population of the planet Earth. Any
Okay.
individual who observes SCP-6096 during an active period will gain an instant awareness of the identity of the current target along with their location. Additionally, they will
Weird.
find themselves compelled to aid SCP-6096 in reaching and securing its target.
Wow.
Evidence suggests that SCP-6096's target alone is exempt from its main anomalous property. They are able to take actions which would cause harm to SCP-6096. To date, however, none have been successful in doing so. Usually due to the unwilling efforts of the entourage, SCP-6096 inevitably accumulates during its journey to the target. When SCP-6096 physically reaches the target, it will subsume them underneath its cotton sheet. In cases where the victim is conscious, they can be seen and heard struggling against SCP-6096 underneath the bedsheet for a period ranging from 20 to 40 minutes,
Wow.
after which they will disappear entirely. The cries of distress emitted by these victims suggest that this process is extremely painful. Following acquisition of its victim, SCP-6096 will return to a docile state.
It just needs to eat or absorb or whatever the hell it does?
Initial containment.
Okay.
SCP-6096 first came to the attention of the Foundation on 09/12/2018 when the police in the town of Durham, New Mexico were called to the home of the local Malian family. The parents of the family, Samuel and Amanda Malian, claimed that SCP-6096 had entered their home and caused their 16-year-old son, Desmond Malian, to vanish.
Wow.
SCP-6096 was still present at the home when police arrived, and when authorities subsequently found themselves physically unable to remove the sheet covering it, agents embedded in the regional government alerted the Foundation and brought the entity into initial containment.
Gotcha.
The household of the Malian family was equipped with several cameras for home security purposes.
Sure.
And so the arrival of SCP-6096 was also captured on film. The following is a transcribed log of the relevant portion of this footage.
Begin log. The Malian family is sat on the couch in their living room, facing the television. Samuel and Amanda Malian are actively watching the television, while Desmond Malian is scrolling on his phone. The sound of a car pulling in can be heard. This is believed to be Drake Ellen, a local taxi driver, dropping SCP-6096 off outside
It done recruited the taxi
Several
driver.
seconds later, Samuel Malian nudges his wife and points towards the out-of-shot window.
What?
You see it?
See what? I don't... Oh!
You see?
Is that a Halloween thing? We're closer to Christmas, aren't we? It's coming over.
You know damn well if you'd see somebody outside in a sheet out your window in your front yard, you'd
Amanda
freak
reaches
out.
over and grabs Desmond's arm tightly. He looks up from his phone.
What's up? I'm doing stuff. Nothing. I mean, just stay there, okay?
So she detected that he wants the victim.
No.
SCP-6096 is barely audible as it gently knocks on the front door.
I'll get her.
Samuel shakily gets up from the couch and moves over to the front door.
So he's
He
compelled
opens
to
it
help.
and SCP-6096 enters.
The hell? Is that Kimmy? What's she all dressed up for? Hey, could you let me go? You're kind of hurting me. That's fine, honey. I'm sorry, honey. It's just... Don't move, and it'll be fine. I only hurt your arm when you try to pull away. That's just...
As SCP-6096 approaches,
Oh my
Samuel
God.
moves ahead of it and grabs Desmond's other arm, holding him down against the couch.
That's just fine. You just stay still, honey. You just close your eyes. It won't hurt you if you just close your eyes.
It won't hurt you. I don't think so.
Okay? Honey? Okay?
Desmond attempts to break free but is unable. He kicks his legs wildly in the air. His phone slips off the arm of the couch and falls onto the carpet.
What are you... I'm serious. Let go of me.
Just stay still, son. Just stay still. Come
Oh,
on.
the dad's
It
crying.
won't hurt for long. It can't hurt for long. Stay strong.
Wow.
You're gonna break my
They're just
fucking arm.
compelled for it to
SCP-6096
just kill
reaches
him.
Desmond and begins to subsume him, feet first under the cotton sheet. Amanda and Samuel watch, mouths open, as Desmond is fully dragged under the sheet, visibly struggling. It appears that they are attempting to scream, but are unable.
Oh my gosh.
Desmond begins to loudly scream, and violent thrashing can be seen under the sheet. This continues for 36 minutes.
Oh my
Once
god.
Desmond has completely vanished, SCP-6096 returns to a docile state. It wraps itself in the cotton sheet and sits down on the carpet, facing the television. Samuel collapses to the floor and curls up into the fetal position, seemingly in a state of shock. Amanda staggers backwards to the far wall, continuing to
In
face
disbelief.
SCP-6096 and calls emergency services on her cell phone. All parties remain in the same positions, save for Samuel's occasional rocking until police arrive.
Wow.
End log.
I just got the chills, man, from
All
that
immediate
encounter. That's
witnesses
so
were dosed
well,
with a Class
so
A
well
amnestic,
spoken,
and
man.
a cover story for the disappearance
such a
of
good
Desmond Mallion was
storyteller.
produced. It is currently unknown how long SCP-6096 was operating prior to this event, if at all. Addendum
Weird, man.
6096-2. Welcome notice.
And there you have it. Welcome to Mobile Task Force Zeta-29. The booze is under the sink. No need to worry about professionalism down here. The higher-ups couldn't demote me if they wanted to. Apparently, my presence as head of SCP-6096 containment is beneficial enough to it that me being reassigned would count as harming it. Lucky me. You're probably wondering how we can be shameless enough to say that we have this thing under containment. It comes and goes whenever it feels like it, and if it ever decided it didn't want to come back to its containment cell, we literally have no way of enforcing it. And yeah, you're probably also thinking that calling a room a containment chamber instead of a hotel room is just as shameful. To that, I say, you're absolutely right.
Isn't that what
There's
we can
nothing
do?
we can do against SCP-6096. Feel free to take a drink until you're able to accept that.
Wow.
Don't hold back. You're gonna become very familiar with that bottle anyway. I know I did. The first time I had to hold the door to a maternity ward open for this thing.
Oh no.
The idea of containing SCP-6096 is a bad joke.
Don't even
We
tell
all
me that.
decided a long time ago that the only way out of this nightmare is liquidation, decommissioning, neutralization, whatever you want to call it. But that's no walk in the park either. I've stood in that chamber for hours, gun pointed at 6096's head, screaming at my finger just to tighten slightly. Didn't work. You can't harm SCP-6096 no matter how much you want to. You can't even try to start a Rube Goldberg kind of thing to eventually harm SCP-6096.
Wow.
It's just a fact of the world. Maybe a semio-hazard or whatever it's called. The way I see it, there are three main ways out of this nightmare. Another organization, maybe the GOC, takes a shot at it without realizing what they're dealing with. Maybe they're thinking we're transporting something more dangerous. Maybe they think we're in over our heads with it, and they take it out with a drone or something. Blow the thing to hell while we're transporting it. A bomb would kill it easy, I think. It feels weak. This would only work so long as the GOC thinks they're bombing something else entirely. If they knew it was SCP-6096, they'd just be contained too. Next,
So
an
weird,
AIC
man.
deals with it. I don't know if an artificial intelligence is immune to SCP-6096's effects,
That's interesting.
but the fact that it won't let me tell one of them about it gives me hope. Maybe one day one of those computers gets a mission, and maybe that mission, by complete coincidence, happens to lead them over to this file. Then they use their superior intelligence to set things up so 6096 runs into an accident out of the blue. And finally, the target gets lucky. Maybe 6096 goes after a gun nut and the poor guy gets a lucky shot in before we can hold him down.
It's true,
This
because they do
almost
have a
happened
chance to
once,
fight.
But Lopez took the bullet. Poor guy bled out while we were holding the target down for 6096.
Dang.
Maybe it'll happen again. Go better. Maybe. Let's be honest. These scenarios aren't scenarios.
Yeah, they're
They're
fantasies.
The odds of any of these things happening on their own are tiny, minuscule. The only thing that can really do 6096 in, as far as I can see, is sheer
It's just
coincidence.
coincidence. That
In the end, all we can do is wait and hope. Hope for one of us to make a genuine mistake that gets the right dominoes falling.
Right.
But I wouldn't hold your breath. After all, we're fucking good at what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Szymanski, commander of Mobile Task Force Zeta-29, Blood Brothers. signing out.
Wow, that sucks, man. That really sucks to be
This
condemned to
concludes
that
today's lecture.
MTF
Thank
unit.
you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all
Jeez.
dismissed. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Dr. Miller. What a weird SCP, man, and horrible. Like, the thumbnail, it didn't appear in this actual video, but when I saw it, I was like, that looks spooky. And it is. And can you imagine being compelled to help this thing devour your own son? Gosh, man. Weird. The Vulcan, though. Great story, man. Great SCP, guys. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.